So right now, there is no pollen available. So what we're going to do is we're going to put out some supplement, Bee Pro powder and Ultra Bee powder for the bees to forage on until the trees start going and providing natural pollen for them. That Ultra Bee just smells so nice. It's like lemon scented. And because I'm not a scientist and I don't make my own mixtures, I give them both. Two different types that are available here in Winnipeg. And that way they can choose what they want and what they're going to use. There's slight differences between the two. A lot of people say that the Ultra Bee is a better product and that the bees take it faster, but I've been doing this for a couple years and I might prove myself wrong this year, but for the most part they take the same amount of both, although they do feed on the Ultra Bee a little bit later into the season. You can buy yourself some fancy special feeders made for pollen feeding, but my barrels are $10 and I'm pretty sure those pollen feeders are up over $150 each, so I'll stick with the barrels. And we put them in these broken pallets just because we do get some wind coming through, some of that prairie wind, and this keeps the barrels in place. And they're a little bit tilted so that when the bees do forage, that the powder does come down a bit. And that little bit of tilt also gives those barrels, or keeps the rainwater out of them. It keeps them a little bit drier. That would be the one benefit that we're missing out on those other pollen feeders, is they're a little better protected from the wind and rain. But like I said, $10 is cheap and it doesn't make that much of a difference. So by tomorrow or the day after, the bees will all have found this powder and they'll just be swarming around on it. And they'll start bringing that back to the hive to put towards brood production. What in the world is going on? Just had a blizzard come through, or a winter storm come through. Well, we've come through the great weather crash of April 2020. And so this is a little bit of deja vu from just a few days ago, or just over a week ago, I should say. Putting out pollen substitute. And the bees will be flying today. It's supposed to hit above 10 degrees. Sun is shining, so they'll be out a little bit early. Right now it's about noon and they're just starting to fly. So we'll give them a little bit something to forage on. And hopefully the weather stays nice. It's supposed to have 2 days above 10 degrees and then highs of 5 to 10 somewhere in there for the rest of the time. So they'll definitely have some time over the next few weeks to forage on this. And I just lay these bags down to keep as the bees are floundering around in the pollen trying to get it to attach, they will move that pollen supplement around, and that often causes it to come out the front of the barrel a little bit. And so I just want to salvage that so that they can forage it rather than it hitting the ground and becoming non-useful for them. At least this way they can forage it and carry on, and we don't waste quite as much. There we go. And that'll do. So they'll be in there this afternoon for sure.